It often begins the same way. She doesn't really see you not as you truly are. She sees potential. A version of you that only exists in her imagination. You might feel like you're being understood, but in truth, you're being evaluated, studied. Not as a man, but as a project, a blank page she hopes to rewrite. But the story she wants to tell, it's not about you. It never was. Carl Jung spent his life examining the unseen parts of the mind, the subconscious layers most people avoid, and he uncovered something unsettling. Women, often unknowingly, don't fall in love with real men. They fall for images, ideas, archetypes. Their unconscious minds have constructed over years. She's not picking you, she's choosing the role you seem to fit. And once you step out of character, she doesn't change the script. She replaces the actor. Jung called this phenomenon projection. Specifically, he named the internal masculine image in a woman the animus. When unexamined, this inner voice becomes overbearing. It's the force behind many women idealizing the unavailable and rejecting the stable. It creates chaos arguments without logic, domination without reason. He didn't romanticize it. He called it a spiritual possession where a woman, under the grip of her animus, loses touch with her own awareness, and men fall into the trap because they've never been taught to recognize it. You confuse being desired with being understood. You think being chosen means being truly seen. But you're not her partner, you're her fantasy. And when that fantasy fails, you're discarded, confused, and hurt, wondering where it all went wrong. But it didn't go wrong. You simply stepped out of the illusion. Jung offered a path forward: individuation, the process of becoming whole within yourself. But most men avoid it. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. It means facing your insecurities, your fears, your inner emptiness. Most men would rather stay in the comfort of being chosen than risk walking alone. You've been taught to chase validation, to seek approval, to let a woman's attention define your worth. But so long as you do, you'll be stuck in the same cycle, repeating the same story, playing a part in someone else's drama. Real growth comes when you stop blaming her for not seeing you, and start seeing yourself clearly. You become a man not by being picked, but by choosing yourself. You stop needing her love to feel worthy, and start building your own foundation. A man who knows his depths can't be manipulated by someone else's fantasies. He stops performing and starts living. But there's a painful cost. As you break free from illusions, you become harder to categorize. People grow uneasy around you. You're no longer playing the roles they expect. Women, especially those still unconsciously projecting, might say you're emotionally distant or hard to read. But what they really mean is they can't control you anymore, and that scares them. Jung warned, society doesn't celebrate the individuated man. It fears him, because he's untouchable. He's not buying what the world is selling. And that kind of freedom, it's dangerous. He also said something profound. People will do anything to avoid facing their own soul, and this is especially true in love. What we often call connection is just two unhealed people looking for someone to complete them. You think she betrayed you. She didn't. She just stopped carrying the weight of your soul, a burden she was never meant to hold. And in that collapse, she gives you a gift, a mirror, an invitation to finally take responsibility for your own growth. Most men won't. They'll point fingers. They'll blame women, call them manipulative. But Jung would look them in the eye and ask, why did you let her choose you in the first place? You weren't a victim. You were a willing participant, because playing a role felt safer than confronting your own emptiness. And this is where the real journey begins. It's not glamorous. It won't earn applause. You'll feel alone, misunderstood. But as you keep peeling back the masks, keep walking your own path, something inside you starts to shift. You stop chasing women. You stop needing to perform. And one day you meet someone different. She's not looking to be saved. She's not searching for a hero. She's done the work, just like you. She's faced her own illusions. And she wants truth, not fantasy. She won't ask you to perform. She won't try to change you. She'll stand beside you not as a goddess, not as a prize, but as a partner. And that's real love. Love born from choice, not dependency. But most of you won't get there, because it requires facing yourself. And that's the hardest thing of all. Still, if you have the courage to keep going, to stop being who the world told you to be and start becoming who you really are, you'll discover something powerful. You'll become a man no longer shaped by projections, no longer performing for love, no longer lost in someone else's story. You'll become the author of your own, and if this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a brother who needs to hear the truth, because waking up doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of every man still asleep, one man at a time.